Okay, alright, ladies and gentlemen. Once I heard about this guy, oh my goodness. No Fugazzie podcast. Another fresh and fit copycat, a Kevin Samuels wannabe. Have you ever heard of this guy before? Hopefully not, because, well, he's biting off Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit over here. And he got exposed for being a hypocrite. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the usual red pill stuff nowadays, you know what I mean? It's the men shouldn't be dating single mothers, men are the prize and all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? He's a 6'4" black man himself, so he's already like the top 1% of the world right there, you know what I mean? So he is a high value male, as they would say, just based off of that already, and he's dealing with a single mother. He's been in a relationship with a single mother for the past 7 years. Basically, he's a gigantic hypocrite. And it's really crazy that there are people out there who watch him. Like, he has 282,000 subscribers on his No Fugazzie podcast, even though that's completely Fugazi, and it's very ironic. And if you don't know on who I'm talking about, well, here you go.
Fellas, this is why I tell y'all gotta be careful about where y'all get y'all relationship / life advice from these guys on this fucking internet, on these podcasts and shit. Because yesterday I made a video about that Fugazzie Cooley dude or whatever, talking about being a top tier man. I always kind of knew dude was a little buddy. But yeah, so here's the clip, and then I'll show you why.
Don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
Do you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year, and I'm black at that if you add that on.
That's why he said that. That's why he talked the way he talked. That's why he thinks he's a top tier man, because he's 6'4" and black. This is why he's the trinket. He's the fetish.
You saw it all there, right? I mean, all of like the popular channels out there, they've already talked about this man, and he actually responded, so I'll get into his response later on. But like, just by watching that podcast clip alone, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, aren't you just tired of it? Aren't you just tired of seeing that, the most professional looking podcast that you've never heard of before ever in your life? And it's like they're acting like they know what they're even talking about, and or if like they're even qualified and talking about whatever it is, bro. Like,
but this is the dude that y'all follow, fellas. This is the rhetoric that y'all subscribe to from hypocrites. A black man playing stepdaddy to some white kids with a single mother who was a BBL Becky. Mind you, getting her knocked up because she's currently pregnant, not even married to her. They've been together since 2017 and has yet to put a ring on her finger.
When you've been waiting for and think everything is a proposal.
And darling, this is more than anything.
So Christmas is around the corner, and since we got a little mixed baby here, we're gonna see which Santa he chooses. We got a black Santa,
And I have the white ones.
and let's see which one he chooses. Same.
and he's corny as fuck. You really had a mixed baby just to make content with the child? What the f am I looking at? This is so fucking corny.
Like, all the boxes were checked. Cringy interracial couple content. She's begging to be proposed to. She's a single mother. All of these things that he tells you in clips like this.
As a single mother, do you believe you deserve a man in the top percentile?
I'm able to do everything else, whether or not I have a baby or not. I still can be a great wife.
Yeah, listen, single moms, recreational use only.
Do you mean like
Time out. Let's reverse it real quick. What?
And do you know what's even crazier is that I know for a fact that there's some guys out there, some losers out there who are still defending him. And they don't seem to understand it or comprehend that it's a grift. He's grifting. That's what this is. It's a grift. So let's get into his explanation. What can he say to get himself out of this situation and his online career doesn't end? Let me just listen to him. Okay.
This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends.
Do I have a long enough video here? Is it over 8 minutes long? It's not. I have to keep going. I have to keep going.
You wake up in your bed and you believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Did he just say it wrong? Wait a minute. He said it wrong.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I'll show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
You stay in a Wonderland, so you're still taking the blue pill then if you still stay in Wonderland. No, like you would wake up from a Wonderland. You would wake up out of the dream. And then you shall... Okay, bro. Oh my God!
Okay, so now you just heard that clip where you got the truth now. Now let's get into another clip where I actually tell men that don't have any kids not to date single moms. Men that do have kids that have full custody of their kids, that's an exception to the rule if you have full custody of your kids, because only 18% of fathers win custody battles. So you're in the exception, man. And when you have full custody of your kid, women that don't have kids necessarily don't understand the obligations that it takes when having kids. So if you can find a woman that doesn't have kids that does understand the obligations, that's a great thing. But if you can't, then there's a higher probability that a woman that has kids, she can understand those obligations. But there's many red flags that those single moms be having. So still try to avoid them. But if you can find one that doesn't have all of those red flags, but you have a kid, maybe it's not a bad idea. But still, it's nonsensical to even say, because generally speaking, most of them do. I just happen to be the exception to the rule, and my girl happens to be the exception to the rule. With that being said, I still recommend you guys.
Yeah, so he did all that talking. Talking for 6 minutes straight about basically nothing. And then he ends it off by saying that it's rules for thee, not for me, because, you know, I'm just the exception to the rule, and so is my girl that's also a single mom. I was also a single dad, and we met each other, and she didn't have those red flags. Unlike the other single moms out there with 2 other grown children, she's the exception to the rule, so the rules just don't apply to us, of course, you know what I mean? But I'm still going to keep the grift up. I'm still gonna keep the grift going. Bro, who watches this shit? Are there actual grown-ass people who actually watch that bullshit, bro? Who are still watching these fucking podcasts out here in the world, bro? Like, how lost are you, bro? You're a grown-ass adult. Because I don't think any children out there or anyone below the age of, I don't know, maybe 20 are watching those types of podcasts at all. Like, there's no way that there's grown full 30 or 40-year-olds watching that shit. Are you kidding me? He did all that talking for nothing. He did all that talking just to say that, you know, the rule don't apply to me or my girlfriend. Yeah, like his girlfriend for 7 years, because he doesn't have the balls to actually marry her. Which, I mean, shit, if she was the exception to the rule, bro, so why didn't he marry her already? You know what I'm saying? But whatever, bro. It's just a grift. It's all a gigantic grift at the end of the day. All those red pill shits that knock off Kevin Samuels, it's a grift. It's a grift. Kevin Samuels ran so that he can walk, okay? And it's all just a grift at the end of the day. If you follow hypocrites, whatever, that's on you. I'm not gonna judge you. No, I will, because, you know what I'm saying, that's all on you, I guess. Whatever the bro. Get out of my face already. Like, real shit.